Hello Strikers, welcome to the classroom. Today we are going to be reviewing Season 1 of Blue Lock, the new soccer anime from 8-Bit Studios. In addition to that, we are also going to be increasing our egos, turning 0 into 1, learning how to devour each other, we're going to make a chemical reaction, see a new future of the game. Blue Lock is the one and only series from creative duo Yusuke Nomura and Muneyuki Kaneshiro, with them handling the art and writing respectively. The manga began in August 2018 and came to most people's attention with a panel that I still cannot believe is real. Yes, this is real. But today I will be talking about the anime, which began airing October of 2022. The manga is its own thing, and I do plan to make a watch versus read video on it someday, kinda like what I did with Chainsaw Man. Please go check that out, by the way. Blue Lock stars Yoichi Isagi, a charming, plucky, high school student. Alright, Isagi is one of the hundreds of strikers in the Japanese high school league who gets invited to Blue Lock, a training camp ran by this weird bug man. And Blue Lock is where the pros and cons of Blue Lock really start to blue their lock at the audience. And this is going to be non-spoilers, so no worries there, and I don't think there's really anything else I need to clarify before we get going. Oh, when I was a kid and played Little League Soccer, I ate the dandelions. So I kinda already shit on Isagi earlier, so let's just put him out of his misery before we move on. While shonen media has given me some of my favorite main characters of all time, there is definitely such a thing as just a shonen main character. I use that word a lot, shonen, but what is it? Shonen is the demographic name for teenage boy to young adult man, the statistically dumbest group of humans, right below literal babies and PTA meeting attendees. Isagi has the kind of borderline obnoxious status MacGuffinism of something like becoming Hokage or the #1 hero, but where Naruto and Deku are charming, cute, and funny in addition to that more standard shonen grit and determination, Isagi is like barely a human at all. Isagi wants to become the #1 striker in the world and devour his opponents and turn 0 into 1, but so does literally everyone else at Blue Lock. Besides the traits that he shares with practically every other character, I really can't tell you a single thing about this guy, and so I don't really like him yet, because honestly, how could I? But the one thing I love about Isagi is that he, and everyone else here, is taking this way too seriously.
I am a striker!
Isagi, what are...
I'll play your dumb game, shithead!
The rest of the cast is where the series actually starts to shine. Let's cover the top G of the situation over at Block, Jinpachi Ego. There isn't too much to say about this guy. I really like that the main power system is just this last guy's name. It's like if Luffy got a new mentor named Jimmy Devilfruit. But the real reason I brought him up is because his voice actor, Derek Snow, sick name by the way, is clearly having the best fucking time in the world.
It's pure ego. Just what I'm looking for in a striker. You lost because you ran away from it. Ryosuke Kira, lock off.
The other players are a real bright spot in the season, and while few, if any of them particularly impacted me, they were all there. Meguru Bachira was probably my favorite character in the series. He is everything Isagi isn't, and is therefore fun. Bachira has an incredibly lively personality that even comes through in his soccer style, seemingly both dribbling and dancing with the ball, while he breaks more ankles than Ant-Man with a baseball bat. Though he is just constantly nude, like they're just hanging out in the locker room and oh, Bachira has the ball. And while Bachira may be my personal favorite of the whole cast, there is certainly something for everyone. Unlike soccer, which is boring. Seishiro Nagi is a hilarious character because while everyone else here is trying to be the best striker in the world, he is also navigating a toxic breakup. Nagi was the pet project of his friend Reo until Nagi realized that he could never turn 0 into 1, or something, if he stuck with his old flame. Shohei Barro is somehow the most fucking insane person in Blue Lock, and while I generally don't like too many changes from the manga, I'm alright with Blue Lock not being the slower anime. He is, on the one hand, a complete actual egomaniac, and on the other hand is a complete neat freak and probably moonlights at a maid cafe. They've also got a lot of the kinds of characters you'll be accustomed to if you've watched other sports anime. There's the jock, the injured one, the prodigy, and they are all, of course, in true sports fashion, pretty gay. There are a lot more that I could cover, as genuinely every character in the series is more fun to watch than Isagi, but there's just one that I want to cover before we move on. It's me, actually. It's me, I'm the character. Hello, my little egoists. I just wanted to stop in real quick to remind you to please like the video if you do like the video. Please make sure that you ring the bell and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And most importantly, please comment. I love having discussions with my audience, which is why we have a rule here. I'll reply to every commenter as long as you are not being a dick, but I actually want to clarify that a bit more, but we'll do that in the end cap. For now, let's get going. So now that we've covered the odd and uneven quality of the characters, we can talk about how the show actually looks, which get ready to hear those same two words that mean the same one thing again, because it is odd and uneven. The series starts off really strong, the colors pop and the characters are built out of thick, chunky lines. CG elements like the ball and net are definitely present, but would be a Herculean task to hand animate for how often they show up, so it is what it is. But once the audience has bit, it becomes clear that that presentation was just bait, because, well, I never like to call a show ugly, but I really hate doing this, I really do, because I know that the animators at 8-Bit Studios literally poured their blood, sweat, and tears into this project. But this is a review, I do have to be honest about how I feel, even though I am half considering just scrapping this whole part of the video and sending each and every one of them chocolates and flowers. You know what, While I still love the character designs and vibrant colors of the show, there are long stretches of the season which are just straight up slideshows. And if you're gonna give me a boring main character, a not very compelling plot, and insane dialogue, which we will get to in a sec, without giving me the thing I'm here for, a fun, exciting sports anime, a slideshow is just not acceptable. Now, I don't think this is anyone's fault. Really, the biggest factor in animation quality is your budget, that being both money and time. And given that this is the first season from a new and not super popular shonen series being produced by a not super well acclaimed studio, yeah, it makes sense that they didn't have mappa money. Luckily though, there is only one element which takes the visual cake for ugliness, and not just looking uninteresting, but actually ugly. It's not me. Why do you... I think I look handsome today. Bachira has a monster in his head that he plays soccer with, and that's not like a metaphor, it's an actual monster. It's not like he's playing scrimmage with John Wayne Gacy. It's actually like a pretty cool metaphor about how the things you do to protect yourself can actually end up harming you or holding you back, but it looks like this. I completely understand them using CGI for the smoke around the monster. Pretty much every other series does the same, even Demon Slayer, which probably has a bigger budget than a fair number of US states. But I just straight up do not understand why they wouldn't just hand animate the monster, because while it is a strange design that would be a challenge to hand animate, I just actually cannot imagine it looking worse or more out of place than what they went with. And now that I've covered the characters and visuals of the series, there's only one last element that I want to get into, and it's very weird. From the very beginning of the series, terms start getting thrown at the audience, and at first it starts off very fun and easy to understand with ego. Since being the best striker means trusting yourself above all else, your ego has to be confident and unwavering. It feels almost like an internal spiritual power like ki or haki. And then they introduce turning 0 into 1, and I will explain what that means, right after I find someone to explain that to me. Turning 0 into 1 quickly turns the floodgates into open. We're devouring each other, making a chemical reaction, seeing the future of the game, and this is a lot of vocab work. Sports anime often have to come up with a bunch of metaphors and concepts to represent real elements of the game. Haikyuu's concept of flying and the in-the-zone mechanic from Kuroko's basketball are perfect and very different examples of this. And while I really liked what they were doing with ego, the more of these terms they introduced, the weaker and weaker the already established ones felt. But the best element of the series, which I want to leave off on, is how they handle the team compositions. For the first part of the series, we're introduced to a proper-sized soccer team, while we meet the competing teams and each of their actual characters. And then, in a really fun twist, which I'm gonna leave as a surprise, we get to see Isagi team up with all the most fun characters that we've met so far. I know I've been a lot more critical than usual in this video, and while I don't think that this series is very good, per se, I do like it. When this series is at its best, it is fun, fast-paced, well-animated sports shonen that I think people will really end up loving if it goes on long enough. Season 2 has already been confirmed, although the release date is not yet known, but the Blue Lock vs. Under 20 arc is hotly anticipated. Blue Lock Season 1 was heavily flawed, but with a core of fun, shonen antics, so I guess I recommend it. But that is the video for this week, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us as always. I will see you next week. Goodbye. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching that video as always, and if you made it to this point, a special double thank you to you. Thank you so much, I really appreciate that. Okay, first thing, this is what I'm showing off from my collection this week. It is a new recliner I got, and it was only $15. I gotta tell you, like, going like thrifting for like furniture like this is the way to do it, because yeah, I love this bad boy right here. He is fantastic. But let me think, what else do I gotta mention real quick? The support on the channel lately has, man, I'm getting choked up already, guys. Come on, how could you do this to me? The support on the channel lately has been incredible. And thank you so much. I really, you know, getting started on YouTube is tough, but I feel like we're getting some, like, real momentum, and it is very, very exciting. Also, sorry if the, like, audio is worse or the lighting. You'll see this whole situation get better as we keep doing it, but I think I'm gonna keep doing these end bits from this chair right here. I think that is about it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really liked Blue Lock Season 1, but it had, like, a lot of flaws I had to, like, mention. I'm already pretty positive, but, like, I couldn't do that. Let me think, what else? Oh, this reclines. It's kind of, it was $15 though. Okay, I'll see y'all. Have a good one. Goodbye.